good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipa Makwa, Standing Bear, Soda Tribe, Fishing Lake, First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop survivor, published author, and welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle. And if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. It's an honor to be of service. To this circle. We are the medicine circle this morning. It's really important that we understand this is not like a patriarchal kind of like a like right here and the rest of everybody's down there. We look more like this. So I am in the service of the Great Spirit, and I am in the service of this circle. And no other place that I'd rather be. Talk about this love thing a little bit. There was a comment yesterday. We go over this pretty much every day. I think we do. Pretty good job about that. And what we mean by love. It's really connection. Love is about connection, right? So when I say I love you, I mean I want you to be connected to all those beautiful things out there. The sunrise, the sunset, the stars, the moon, the seasons, the day, all those things that really give us life, right? And the offering back with me would be, Standing Bear, I love you too. So it's not really like a reciprocal thing, just kind of like an offering. Like you offer me, and I offer you. So okay. Anyway, a couple of housekeeping things. This is always kind of the first. It's not really the only thing we talk about is connection. If we have a connection issue, please stay here. Please, if you get kicked off. I got kicked off last weekend, and then I just hit the start button again, and we started this thing up again. So please, if there is a little interruption there, please just come right back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going through this thing. So, all right, we're going. All right, so let's begin. Let us begin in the usual way here. Let's begin with a little smudge here. If you'd like to smudge also, that would be good. Grandfather Tony always used to say you can tell the health of the community by how many smudge pots are going. Like he always said that a couple of times, but I just remember that, right? Yeah, it's kind of funny how you just kind of remember those things, right? So let's keep those smudge pots going. Remember, we have the elder out in BC, that grandmother. Just saying, when grandmother talks, that thing, right? So it's no longer a suggestion. So a couple volunteers, give me a little heart, give me a little thumbs up if we can keep this smoke going throughout the entire circle this morning, the entire meditation, because this is for the residential school children that never came home. It's really important that we keep those in our prayers, and we're going to talk about that today a lot more in depth. That's actually the reading today. So we'll go into why we do that. The rest of the colonial world doesn't talk about it, but here we walk with this prayer. We walk with remembrance, and remember, it is the smoke that connects us all. So that's why we do that. Okay. Well, let us begin in the usual way. If you would like to offer with me, that would be good, as Grandfather Tony would say, my elder. So if it doesn't begin with spirit, it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. A little pinch from above, a little help from the red-tailed hawk nations. Amen. Amishiga. Reaching to all my relations. Kitchimanitou, Great Spirit, Creator, Great Mystery. Kewazanami, I love you. We love you. Megwitch, thank you. Chi Megwitch, thank you. Thank you for our breath. Thank you for our life. Thank you for this circle. Thank you for this day. We come here in circle. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way. We come here in a sacred way. We come here to listen and learn of all these sacred things. But the first reason why we are here, the reason why we do that, is to celebrate life. And not only the celebration of our personal life, and not only the life of this circle, but all nations, tribes, and circles, especially those nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-legged. Like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath, we say thank you. To the fish nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water, we say thank you. To the winged nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. To the creepy crawlies and the slitheries and the insect nations, the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth. To the four-legged communities and circles, the ones who offer us and teach us so much about our humanity, we say thank you. And of course to other two-legged nations, circles, and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers as well. And this makes our ears happy. So we come here and we celebrate life, both seen and unseen, because we know we live in two worlds at the same time, seen and unseen, spiritual and physical. We cannot live in one without living in the other. We are forever intertwined. So we come here today, we celebrate life in all directions, in all 7 directions. We celebrate the ones that have come before us, our ancestors, and remember, if there were relatives here, they are our ancestors over there. So we celebrate all life, and we give thanks to our ancestors and our relatives for offering, giving us life. Without life, we have nothing. So we give those that have offered their life. And we also understand that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed that along to us. And we understand this. We understand the hurt in our communities. But we come here today to acknowledge that. We come here today to heal that. We come here to understand that that hurt is not our own. It's not our own to carry. It is our own to heal. And we heal it right now so we don't have to give this and offer this as part of our offering to life to the next seven generations. We only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned to us. So we live in this beautiful intersection between both worlds, both unseen worlds. It is a great time of great passion and beauty. A great opportunity to break the chains, to make this world a better place, to transform this world into something useful for the next seven generations. So let us come here today with great gentleness. Let's come here today and do a little better than we did yesterday. Let us be better humans. And Great Spirit, Kitchi was smart. They left a path for us to walk, a road to follow, teachings to listen to and to take into our hearts. The 7 teachings, the 7 sacred teachings, the foundation in which we will live a good life. The foundations in which we will live a good life. That means when we adhere to these, listen to these 7 teachings, that they will offer us a good life with connection to all things beautiful. It will change calamity into calm, storm into serenity. We will remember the original prayer of harmony and balance. The first prayer at the center of the universe, the one that came here on the back of the lightning and the thunder beams into our mother's womb. We will remember that prayer then. But we will only remember it when we walk with harmony, when we walk with humility and love and respect and truth and courage and wisdom and honesty. Until then, we probably won't remember that. There are steps to follow. So today, let's take a step. Let us sit together and let us remember that we are one. All right, good one this morning. All right, everyone. My name is Kanipa with Mac Washington, Standing Bear, Saulteaux Tribe Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60s Group Survivor, published author. Get this thing rolling. Okay, all right. So a couple things. I think today's your weekend, right? Today's weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
Saturday.
So a couple of things. We're just going to take our time. I really don't care about the hour thing right now. We're just going to go through it the way it's supposed to go through it. Okay, so hollow bones. A couple of things before we get started in earnest. Hollow bones, I would really love to hear your definition of hollow bones. We understand the general definition, the most convenient, shortest definition is there's a life force out there and we want to connect to that life, and then we want to offer life. The second half is what people really struggle with, right? So, like, why do I have to offer life if life offered me life, right? Well, to have life, we must offer life, right? So, guess what? If you woke up this morning, you've been offered life, right? And we've been offered a beautiful opportunity to change that life. So if we're struggling with some personal issues, interpersonal relationships, or an unwanted relationship with drugs and alcohol, which a lot of us struggle with, that's okay. We can come here. It doesn't have to be the way. This could be the first day that you don't drink. How about that? A couple of you out there, I know. Imagine that, right? Imagine that. I love you. And, one of those things is, actually we're going to talk about it a little later, but it's equality. We're all equal here. That's part of hollow bones too. You see how it's all intertwined? The hollow bones and the circle. This is what hollow bones looks like right there, intertwined, and they're connected too. So, okay, ancestors and elders. So very traditional indigenous communities that we thank our elders. We introduce our elders as we introduce ourselves, right? So thank you to Grandfather Tony Stonehawk, my direct elder. He is from Delaware. I'm a 60s scooper. There was a question about that the other day because I'm from Treaty 4 up here in Saskatchewan. 60s scooper means that I was taken away, and then I was in the States for a long time, and then I bumped into this guy, Tony Stonehawk, almost 30 years ago. Been walking the Red Road with him for 30 years. And also to thank all those other elders up here at Fishing Lake who have guided me in such a good and beautiful way. The Muslims and the Cookums up here. So thank you for that. And okay, circle medicine. Here we go. Circle medicine. This is what circle medicine looks like. This is like the exact thing. We are all intertwined, overlapped, intertwined. We are all equal. And as someone pointed out the other day, there was a comment, we are stronger together. And of course, that's really beautiful. Thank you for that gentle reminder. So, and yeah, so not one strand is stronger than the other, but together. That's what the circle of medicine really is. No one's in front of us, no one's behind us, no one's above us, no one is below us. We are all equal here, up to including myself. I'm just sitting in this circle with you. That's all I'm doing. I'm just a middle guy. I'm just a middleman in all this, right? Right? I'm not a medicine man. I'm not any of that, right? I'm just a regular guy, right? So. Okay, sacred feminine. Okay, it's really important that we understand this. The life givers, those colonial communities, marginalized. We know that over here. We want you to know you are beautiful, powerful, and sacred. You are enough here. You know, we leave those colonial things, the way we measure the woman have to be a certain age, a certain beauty, a certain look, a certain size, you have to wear this, no, none of that. Just leave all that at the door. We're interested in connection to you, and connection to all things beautiful. That's what we're interested in. That's what love really is. We want you to be connected to all those things beautiful. Just want to have a moment like that. I mean, just sit with that, especially the men out there, right? The men, right? Okay, all right. Question of the day. Here we go. Got me a little fired up this morning. So I actually did a YouTube video on. I was so fired up this morning that I did a YouTube video. So it is posted now. It's on my wall now. This is about land back movement. And I recently went to Winnipeg to do this to do the unity. They asked me to do a unity prayer, and there was all these different groups from different communities, and they just asked me to do a unity prayer. So I did a unity prayer, and some of those people, they were talking about land back. It's really big in the Indigenous community and the rainbow communities, right? I was just having a dramatic moment. I have to lighten it up a little bit. The good thing about it is we talk about these really good things and just have a good time. It doesn't have to be so heavy, right? Thank you to Grandfather Tony for teaching me how to laugh again, right? When we talk about these beautiful, it makes you want to cry. It's just like, oh my God, because, it was just that moment. So land back. Sovereignty, right? Really big in the First Nations communities, right? Tribal communities, right? What is land back, right? To say, the thing is, it's like a movement, right? That's what they say. I say it's not a movement at all. It's not a movement. Let's go back to what we are taught in the very beginning. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, it doesn't begin. So nothing is a movement, is a way of life. The way of life is with the spirit. If it doesn't go here, it can't go out there. Like if you want land back, that's a great thing. I think it is. I will endorse that, and I will love you, and I will help you. But the land back movement does not begin on some front line somewhere. I was talking to a frontline worker the other day. He said, well, no, I don't go to ceremony. My ceremony is, the protest. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. That means we sit with Mother Earth. If we want land back, it doesn't begin with a piece of paper that the colonial people give us. Sovereignty isn't a piece of paper that the colonial government say, now you are, here's some of your land back here. There you go. Like if we're not connected to land, then what good is it? The power is in the connection to the land. We have to understand that. And we have to understand the land back movement is for everybody too. That's what we're doing here. This is for everybody. Treaty or freaking no treaty, we all have to go back to land. That's it. Right. right? That's it, right? Obviously, there's some rights of the treaty, right? That's secondary. That's all that's secondary. That's not the primary. The primary thing is we sit with the medicines that give us life. What good is life if we're not connected to it? What good is life if we're not connected? What good is life if we're not connected to the land? What good is a protest if we're not connected to the land, the water, the sunrise, the seasons? I'm going to slow down. I'm getting really fired up here. So. Sovereignty is the same thing. If it doesn't begin with spirit, if it doesn't go in here, then it doesn't go to our communities. It doesn't go to the band office. It doesn't go anywhere. What happens is, there's some really angry Indigenous out there. I get that, right? But it doesn't begin on the front line. It begins in here. You're just another angry person then. The world doesn't need any more angry people. The world needs peaceful people connected to this beautiful thing called Earth, this absolute beauty. That is land back. That's where it begins. That's it. And then after we start sitting with Earth, we go in this area. Land back is listening to the elders. Land back begins with humility. Sovereignty begins with humility. Sovereignty is sitting with the medicines and waiting for that voice to talk to you as individuals. It's creating that beautiful, beautiful place. You understand? We don't need any more people on the front line that are disconnected with everything, They're not talking violence. We don't need violence, We don't need violence here. Mother Earth isn't about the violence, it's about connection. There's people that talk about violence, they don't listen to elders, they go to ceremony, they're not trying to sit with the medicines, and then I don't know what to do for you at that point. I don't know what to do for you. I love you, and my prayers will be with you and for you, but not for coming back here. If you want to know what love is, that's love right there. Right? Land back is sobriety. Land back is sobriety. Sovereignty is sobriety. Land back is listening to the elders. I said that twice. The spirits keep telling me this. Listening to their stories. Listening to the stories of their grandfathers and their grandmothers before them. Mm-hmm. That's land back. Land back is speaking the language. If you're tribal, start there. You want land back? Start there. Land back is a prayer and a way of life. It isn't a movement. A movement isn't a way of life. A prayer is a way of life. And if we don't live that prayer, if it doesn't begin with spirit and we don't walk with that, then what good is it? A movement's like a vacation. It's just kind of, I'll go to the front line today. Do some front line work. Yeah, no. Laying back is beginning every day with gratitude. It's what we do here. Laying back is being a better human. Laying back is understanding equality. That's where it starts. And again, I did another lengthy video on YouTube, and it's on my page today. Go like and subscribe to that. So, I love you. So keep that smudge going. Just keep that smudge going. Yeah. somebody fire it up, man. We need a good smudge here. So, and I say this with love. I say this with absolute love. Okay, so what we do here is we go over one or two books. I'm not sure where the books are here, so let's go over. There we go. We go over this. I know you can see it backwards, and here it is. Both books. These are both meditation books. They are medicine wheel, basic medicine wheel teachings that will guide us in a really good way. So everything that we talked about, these are little snippets, and what we do is we'll read them a couple of times, develop a general impression. That's the Grandfather Tonyism too, because Grandfather Tony called me out one day. I said, "Hey Tony, I'm doing this great thing, blah blah blah. Hey, what? Well, where do you start?" I'm like, "What do you mean where to start?" Well, give him a place to start. And then he said, "Well, general impression." So anyway, so we have a general impression. That's just a starting point. It's not an ending point. It's not a place of blame, shame, or guilt, right? So we're all starting at like different points, right? So, but the beautiful thing is, we grow and we grow in understanding together. Imagine if the whole world did that, right? That would be absolutely amazing, right? Right? And really, these teachings aren't teaching. They're not, because the truth is already ingrained in us. We come from the earth. We are the DNA of the earth. That means we come with this knowledge, right? So really, we're just remembering the teachings, right? We're remembering who we are, what we are, and what we're supposed to do. So anyway, so we're going over Daily Medicine March 4th today. If we can get a volunteer to put that in the feed, please, and thank you. So again, we're just going to read this a couple times. This is really amazing too, because the reading today matches the question, and I'm not that clever enough to line those two up. I don't spend, what's the question, what's the reading, can I line that up? That's just like a lot of work, right? But it happens all the time. And so our voice and our thoughts are endless prayers living in an endless ceremony. Our voice and our thoughts are endless prayers living in an endless ceremony. What does that mean to you? This is one of my favorites. So, what does that mean to you? We just spoke about it in the question. The comment section, land that. A little hint. I love you. We're just gonna have a great time today. I feel it. I'm a little fired up, but that's okay. I'm off my coffee right now, so we're good. So, okay, first word. I know some of you know what I'm going to say. We, us, and our. They are beautiful, powerful words, because when we think of we, us, and our, in this context, in these books, in this way of life, in this prayer, I want everybody to think of this, because this is what Grandfather Tony taught. Interwoven and overlapping. This is all of us right here, right? Everybody. I want you to ingrain this in your head, like, that's, and what is beautiful. This is sweetgrass, by the way. There's a comment, sweetgrass, the hair of Mother Earth, one of the 4 sacred herbs, right? One of 4 sacred herbs, intertwined, overlapping. These are overlapping prayers. That's what a braid is. The prayers. This is what our looks like. I'm fixing to get real fired up here. So, our ancestors. This is what? Intertwined, both seen and unseen. These are our prayers. These are us and the bears and the beavers. This is us in humility. This is us seen and unseen. This is everything right here. How beautiful. I want everybody to just think about that a second. Like, I want everybody, this is your homework assignment, go out there and get a braid of sweetgrass, right? Get a braid of sweetgrass, right? Right there. Right there. hour. Again, I have to say, I've got some new people here. English is a really bad language. Disconnects us to everything, separates everything. Indigenous language connects us to everything. That's the difference, right? Right. In a lot of indigenous language, we didn't have a name for water, but it translated to flowing harmony, right? So we're not drinking this benign water, we're drinking medicine, right? The medicine, wow, this is flowing. Imagine every time that we took a drink of water, we called it flowing harmony. That would change that's a game changer right there. That's a game changer, right? And which is also included in the hour. It's all related. It's all connected. It all looks like this. The water is part of the hour, right? That's how beautiful and powerful this thing is, right? I know some of you just have a hard time wrapping your head around it because we've lived in that colonial world. I get that, but set that aside, right? Bring in a new thought, idea. That part of the hour is the water that we are. Where's the pen? I need a pen. Write that one down. There's 2 pens right there. There we go. That's how beautiful. We just went really beautiful, really deep, right? Part of the hour is the water that we already are. Right? The air that we breathe, the fire that is inside our hearts. That is part of the hour here too. And it's not only just me and Maureen and Mary and John and Kimberly and Joe. It's not just that. That's part of the hour. The two-legged community is part of the hour, but it's not the only, right? That's your colonialism. Well, the only hour is just the people, right? No. Part of the hour is the prayers and the things that we say. Just think about that, right? How big and beautiful that got, right? Part of the hour is those beautiful things that we've recovered from. Some of us haven't had a drink in a while. That's part of the hour. That's part of you and that's part of me. How beautiful is that? So much like, part of the hour is, the way we connected to the hour is understanding. I can't believe we're not, what's the hour? How much time we have? Okay. Part of connecting to the hour, we're here connecting, creating a beautiful, powerful life, and we're doing it together. When I connect to all those beautiful things, you are part of those beautiful things. And how do we do that? And this is part of the hour. We begin the opening. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. These are recurring themes through the medicine wheel. This thing called life. We're supposed to connect to life, right? There was a question the other day. Well, I got this life. I don't know what to do with it. Well, connect to it, right? Like if we don't connect to life, we connect to something else. Drinking, drugging, sadness, loneliness, depression, like you name it. Like that's all medicine too. Right? That's all medicine too. That's like anti-life medicine, crack, cocaine, heroin, that's all anti-life medicine. It's still medicine though, right? Right? Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, that's medicine too. It's really bad medicine, right? Let's not connect to that. Let's connect to those beautiful, beautiful things. Let's connect to this, right? This is how we connect to this. When we connect to this, then guess what? Guess what? We disconnect to everything else. Those negative things. That's what's so powerful. It's not a higher power thing. It's none of that. It's not like some white guy in the skies will come down and take this from me. No. Work has to be done. A price has to be paid. I get that, right? That's a colonial thing. That's in like the big book. There's a 12-step program that has a big book. Take it from that. We're going to use what that is. A price has to be paid. That's absolutely beautiful. That's powerful, right? That means a price has to be paid. That means we start in the morning. This is part of the hour. And how we understand how we get there is to thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for my breath. Thank you for this circle. Thank you for everything that I have and everything they've taken away. What can I learn from this? And how can I connect to all this beauty? How can I connect? And how can I help That's the other half, right? We usually get stuck on the first half, right? Right? A lot of us get stuck in, well, thank you for life. Yeah, thank you for, well, that's really spiritual, but that's only like half, right? Right? If you're offered life, you're supposed to offer life. That's what, that's the deal. That's the deal. That's the price you have to pay. If you're offered life, that's a freebie. That's it, right? Not really a freebie, but that works right here, right? So now we're supposed to go out of our way to help people, other people help. Hey, get life, right? Right? That's the other half. That's part of how we get to the hour. That's a preamble, how we get to the hour, right? And that's just one thing. There's other things, ceremony, songs, round dances, like all these other things do. But you know, we begin one-on-one and help the spirits return. That's the sunrise right there. Get me fired up. Get me fired up. Too late. All right. So, where were we? I think we just covered the hour.
First word.
Okay, so hour. Okay, our voice. Okay, we're in a couple things here. So our voice. Oh my God, here it is. First 4 words. There's hour in here twice. I want you to note that down. It's like you have a piece of paper, you're taking notes, you got the book, write this down. This is an understanding, so write this word, hour. The first 4 words is done twice. What is Spirit trying to tell us? There's a message here, loud and clear. It's right in our face. Hour twice, our voice, and hour. It says thoughts. Right? It says our voice, and there's notes, and I wrote here. I prayed with this before the circle. So it's our voice, and I wrote whose voice, right? If the hour is all, and then there's a lot of voices in there, right? There's a lot of voices, right? We're just gonna run over it. That's just the deal. There's no way I can squeeze this on it. So the voice, whose voice? Right. The voice of the sunrise. The voice of the ancestors. The voice of the next seven generations. See, this is so we have to bring the medicine wheel into this in order to understand what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, right? The voices come in all 7 directions, right? They come from the animals, they come from the plants, they come from the birds, they come from the, those things that we can hear are the easiest to hear, right? But it takes time. We have to put some skin in the game. A price has to be paid to listen to those. Everything has a voice, but not everything speaks, right? Everything has a language, but not all language has a voice, right? But they all speak, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So it's really the unheard voices, the inaudible voices that we're supposed to be hearing. Right? Right? Those are included in there. If we're just listening to those things that have a voice, we're probably just listening to 2-leggeds. If we're just listening to 2-leggeds, we are twisted. We will never understand and connect fully to life if we're only listening to the 2-leggeds, right? That's like listening to less than 1% of 1% of everything that is said, right? And then like if we do that long enough, we think that the 2-leggeds are wise and have some validity, and really it doesn't. We're not really connected to a whole lot. That's the problem. Right here, they're telling us this is the teaching behind the teaching beyond and beyond is how we connect to all this. This all this thing called life, right? We're only connected to a lot of us, most of us, if we grew up in the colonial world, only connected to 1.111% of an entire life, which is really just like 4 or 5 people, right? And we think we're living like a really healthy life. Oh yeah, well I want 4 friends. No. Missing the beauty, the power, the connection there is to all that, the majesty that is life. And we only focus on those. Like if you have 4 friends, the only thing that you're focused on is probably how bad life is, and then we become this bleeding deacon. Like, oh, life is so bad. Oh, this war everywhere. Oh God, I'm so bad. Oh my God. No, because we're not listening, hearing the voice. The voices. Our voices. And the teaching behind the teaching is that we are all one. A really good prayer is one that reminds us that we are all one. Those are the best prayers. There's a lot of prayers there that separate ourselves, right, from each other. Like the Our Father, it separates ourselves, right? It's a great prayer, but it still separates ourselves, right? But there's no oneness there, right? Our voice and our thoughts, our words and our thoughts are prayers. That's it. Write that one down. I need you to write that one. Everything you say, everything you think is a prayer. It's an actual creation for things to come, right? We live in this beautiful world that we are part of, created from. We're not flimsy and come to this place of circumstance. We make a decision every day with our words and our prayers what our future is going to be, right? And so, that being said, when we connect to all those voices, that's a gentle correction for our own prayers. So who here, give me a thumbs up if you remember that story that I always talk about. I am all heart. My tree story. Give me a little thumbs up. Give me a little thumb. I am all heart. That's a beautiful prayer. That, we could sit with that prayer, for 100 lifetimes and we would only understand just a little bit. I am all heart all the time, which is really what they're saying here, right? Keep those. The tree story. Let me catch up. Let me catch you up. So the tree story, a story of a relative of mine coming down from Onion Lake to South Florida. He connected the hearts. He came and went. And so what Grandfather Tony taught me to do is, hey, look, let's deepen this thing with this prayer. I didn't understand entirely this thing with the heart medicine. I'm freaking looking at the Standing Nation, thinking like, where's your heart? So then 6 weeks later, after daily prayers, daily offerings, I heard this beautiful thing whisper, but not whisper. I am all heart all the time. That's what the tree said. Is that freaking amazing? I am all heart all the time. And I would have missed it. I would have missed it if I didn't do this every day. I would have missed it. Prayer is about preparation. Prayer is about preparation. We're not in the results of business. That's a colonial narrative. There's no cosmic God out there saying, I need this. And that's a colonial narrative. Jesus will save the world. No. We have to put some skin in the game, man. We got to go out there. We got to pray. We got to pray hard. And that doesn't work. Grandfather Tony said, well, pray harder then. Keep at it. Keep doing it. A price has to be paid. Our voice and our thoughts are endless. Another word to endless is powerful, but we don't understand what the nature of our power when we're coming and going from our prayers, but we understand it if we walk with our prayers. You understand? So it's not a one and done. We say, thank you for life. I need some more money. That's a prayer, but I don't know how far that's going to take you, man. That's a selfish prayer, man. That does nothing for you, but does everything for me, right? What can I offer in life? I have been offered this beautiful thing called life. Nina, Jesse, Sarah, all these beautiful people have been offered life. What are you offering back? That's what they're saying here. What are you offering life, man? What can you do? What will you? What will you refuse to do? That's really the deal. That's a colonialism. Well, I've been offered this great life, but I'm not going to help anybody because it doesn't really help me, right? Because they don't understand. Let's go around to circle medicine. I help you. When I help you, I help myself. If I fail to help you, I fail to help myself. Write that one down. The cornerstone. That's one of the basic cornerstones of a prayer. Right there. That's it. That's like the teaching behind it. If I don't help you, then and then a lot of us come here complaining to me, I'm sad, lonely, depressed. What do I do? Well, okay. Well, then I point them to something like what we do here in the morning. I say, well, start there. Well, I have a drinking problem. Okay. Well, come here. Show up. Right. Yeah. Right? We got to put some skin in the game, man. We got to offer life, man. Our thoughts, our voice and our thoughts are endless, man. Everything we've said, everything we've written here, everything you write here in the comment section, that's a prayer. Make it prayerful. Be mindful. That's a prayer. Being loving. John said there's a hawk flew by. I love that, man. Yeah, that's a prayer. They were speaking to you, man. When that medicine shows up, they're speaking to you, man. And now you shared that medicine with us. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you, brother. That's a beautiful thing right there. My ears are ringing now. Something coming in. I know what that's about. I'll smudge again after. My ears are ringing when that hawk thing came in. So that's it. So, all right. I love you. Hang up. This is about to get better. Hold on. Strap in. All right. Prayers living. Let's just break that down. Let's circle that. Like if you got that in your book, circle that. That's really important. Prayers are living. So we live our prayers.
Yeah.
How does that make, this is beautiful. Hold on. So laying back. What did we just say about laying back, right? If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. We have to walk with our prayers. What to say here? Prayers are living. I don't know if you knew that, but listen, living, if they're, they are a living, breathing creation that we have to live with and by. So, if we know that, if we're living with our prayers, it's really important that we know what we're praying with and for and to. So there's a lot of people stuck in that colonial world that says, oh, there's so much wrong with the world. Democrats do this, Democrats do that, Republicans, Trudeau, Trump, and blah, blah, blah. That's a prayer that you're living. You're just creating chaos there. There's no change there. You're just actually creating. You're living that chaos, and now you're spreading that chaos because we spread the words that we say. We live. It's already within us, but we get the power to choose our prayers. We get the power to choose the tone of our voice and our thoughts. That's the deal. Write that one down. Everybody wants peace, but nobody's talking peace, right? Right? Mother Teresa said, I will never go to an anti-war rally. She was absolutely right. War, no war, you're still going to this place called war. Go to a peace rally, I will show up at a peace rally. The only reason why I went to the Unity truck convoy because it had the word unity in it. They don't even know that. Because it had the word unity. It didn't pick a side. Unity is on everybody's side. I don't know if you know that. But it's you that are walking away from the unity. That's the deal. Either we live this thing or we don't. That's the teaching behind the teaching here. Living prayers. What are you living with? Living prayers. Living prayers. Are you living your prayers? Are you prayerfully speaking, praying, thoughts and actions? That's what we're creating, right? Right. Let's bring in, the 7 teachings. Humility. Is your prayer humble? Is this prayer humble? We're having a little problem with the feed here, but that's okay. So, living prayers, humility. So just stay with me. We had some connection problems, so stay with me. So, come back. So, voices, thoughts, endless prayers, humility should be all lined up, side by side. Should be intertwined and overlapping just like this, right? Just like this. If humility isn't part of your life, then I don't know how much of life that you're connected to. Write that one down. If your prayers and thoughts are endless, but it doesn't include humility. It probably doesn't include a lot of love. It probably doesn't include a lot of truth. Probably doesn't include a lot of wisdom, and probably doesn't include a lot of respect. Just saying. And then you'll start acting like the guy that said, well, I don't need to go to ceremony, going to the front line. That's what that looks like, right? I don't need to talk to the elders. I don't need to go to ceremony. I don't need to go to sweat. I don't need to make offerings anymore. I'm just going to the front line and do a bunch of yelling. That's not a life. That's something. He's not a protester. He's angry, man. We've had enough of angry men, angry people in this life, man. Let's change. It doesn't have to be the way it's always been. Understand? It doesn't have to be the way it's always been. Everything begins with prayer. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. I think we're only halfway through this reading. Okay. Living prayers in an endless ceremony. So the endless ceremony, what they're basically saying here, the short of it, and let's not get into anything other than this. It's really from birth to death, really. First breath to last breath. And that's just the basic, right? Like if you want to talk about the prayer in the center, how life began in the womb of the belly, whatever that looks like, whatever you decide, that's your life. That's your life. From the first breath to the last breath. It's the stuff you do in the middle. That's what really matters. It's the stuff that we overcome. It's the stuff that it begins with our thinking, right? The connection begins with our thinking, right? The center of that is knowledge, right? So what that colonial world is trying to block us from the knowledge of Mother Earth. That's what it's trying to do. Those things that separate us, that's the medicine that they offer us, right? So we can change. Once we have that knowledge, then we gain the wisdom, right? Right, that one, wisdom does come before knowledge, and the wisdom is what's already within us. The DNA that we understand that we are part of Earth, but if we never turn off CNN and Fox News, global news, we will never know, right? Because they're feeding us a narrative that doesn't serve life, right? Right. That's their prayer, is anti-life over there, right? The colonial world is an anti-life world, right? Right. Right. We must walk. We must walk as if we are in ceremony. We must walk every word that we say is ceremonial. That means we must walk with gratitude and humility. We must walk in this place of connection. I want you to write this down. Those of you who are struggling, I am connected to life. I am connected to all those. Make that assertion and announcement, and then walk that way. Sometimes we have to walk. Start with I am beautiful, right? Not in a place of conceit, right? But in a place of absolute beauty, that I am as beautiful as the sunrise because I know you are. How about that? Heather, Tina, Nina, Levine, I know you are. And every sunrise is a little different, right? Every sunrise is sacred, right? Every sunrise is beautiful, right? There we go. That's the equality. It looks a little different, but it doesn't make it any less beautiful. You see? So what did we just say? So we can change up the beauty, but it's still beautiful, right? Write that one down, right? Right? We may not be in the best mood, but we can still know that we are beautiful. We don't need to go to this place of blame, shame, guilt. Right? That's what that medicine offers us, the colonial world. It stinks over there. Right? Sorry about that. Okay, censored. It's part of my prayer in the book. We just have a good time here, right? We just laugh and just Sometimes we get censored, Facebook jail. I'm long-term incarcerated, Facebook jail. That just kicked me off the other day, man. I took that personally, man. Kicked me off the feed. I said, get out of here. We must be doing something right when they mess with our connection, right? So, anyway, so actually we got some good time here. So, all right. Our voice and our thoughts are endless. Endless what? They're endless living prayers. The prayers are living beings. Part of the unseen, right? The unseen world. We must walk in and this is how we walk in the unseen world. In our physical bodies, we walk in prayers, right? That's how those two are connected, right? A lot of us saying, you know, if you come to Colombia, well, there is no unseen world because I don't see it. Well, I'm just like, yeah, right? But when we walk with our prayers, you know, we must walk with our, that's it. We walk with our prayers. It's as simple as that. We walk in, you know, we're walking, again, it's the same thing. Begins with spirit, gratitude, humility. Like if there's no humility in our gratitude, that's not gratitude. Here, it's something else. It's probably an opinion. Probably a judgment. Probably gossip. Right? Probably lateral violence, right? All right. I'm a little tired of lateral violence, right? But living prayers. What are you living today? How are you going to live today? Right? How is your life going to change with what we've done here today? How about that one? You sound really spiritual, Wayne, but you know, it's just kind of like, you know, it's what you do. You know, it begins in here. If it doesn't begin in here, like the land back movement, the sovereignty movement, if this doesn't go here, if this reading doesn't go here, then it's not going to go to our families. If it doesn't go to our families, it's not going to our communities. And if it's not going to our communities, it's not going to our nations. And if it doesn't go to our nations, it's definitely not going to Turtle Island. It's definitely not going to turn this thing around. So let's bring the question in here. Is it going in here first? Is it beginning with spirit? This is a physical and unseen location at the same time. It is listening and talking at the same time. Are you listening or are you talking? Are you walking with or are you walking away? I love you. I want you to live a really good, beautiful life, right? And so let's kind of recap here, you know. Let's go. So we're supposed to give life, right? But how do we give life back if we're not connected to life? That's the colonial dilemma, right? They do all these existentialism, like, you know, all these things. You can go to Tony Robbins and all that, but none of them, they're like, you know, like I was at a metaphysical bookstore yesterday, and none of them was talking about, you know, connection to Mother Earth, the thing that really gives us life, right? You know, and I'm looking at these books, and you know, they're full of, you know, they're full of like spiritual swill, man. You know, all these all these people talking about, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh. I mean, that's what it looks like, but really at the end of that, you got nothing, right? You know, the real deal is you know, we start with the medicines, and then we start, you know, connecting to the medicines, and then we will know how to offer life, right? It's tough to offer life if we don't know what life that we're giving and really offering, which begins with our words and our prayers and our thoughts, right? So, basic Indigenous spirituality 101 says that we offer life by connecting to life. Write that one down. Write that one down. Right? If we're not connected to life, then how can we offer life, right? If we're not connected to Mother Earth, how can we protect Mother Earth, right? you could be at the front line yelling and screaming. You're just another angry, protester. We don't need any more angry protesters. We need protesters that are connected to this thing called life. Right. I love you. I love you. Please keep those questions, concerns, and comments coming. So, all right, we're going to move on to the announcements. New YouTube channel, Standing Bear, the author YouTube channel. We just went over land back. So if you want to know more about my comments, please go over there. Please like and subscribe for that. MMIW projects. We are able to receive donations. This is really beautiful. We have 2 projects going on. We have a T-shirt project going. I know I've been talking about that for a long time. I know, but we're moments from making that happen. Moments, really. Just hang on a second. So, T-shirt project and a nonprofit. If we have committees set up, please choose a committee and join Women's Group, International Women Healing Circle, with Denise Miller. When women support each other, incredible things happen. That is a Zoom event Mondays and Thursdays. So I will put that in the feed. You have to go to the thing. There's some entry questions that's for your safety there. Workshop announcement, Journey Through the Seasons with Denise Miller and myself. That's a harmony and balance. We are all in recovery. It is a recovery-based workshop. So that is also March 24th. If you want some more information about that, please contact me. Please private message me because there's a lot of comments in the feed here. Okay, we got a couple of 60 scoopers. 60 scoopers, the ones that were stolen by the Canadian government and those by the other colonial governments. We have a healing circle every Monday. So if you want more information for that, please get a hold of me and I will send you that information. And let us close out in a really good and beautiful way. Remember, this is actually, you know what's really cool about this? Is a whole branch. This is the traditional one right here. The whole branch, it's not cut and then bored through. A grounding medicine. So let us. There was a comment saying that you don't explain this anymore. So now I'm explaining it. So grounding medicine, tree nation medicine, standing nation medicine. So that moment, I feel like, that's that moment of grounding. So just. All right, everyone. All right. So thank you, everyone. The final word is, this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here, loved here, learned here, and listened to here. And let's take it to the 4 winds. Does us no good to be all spiritual here if we don't take it out there. Okay, everyone. My name is Kanipa with Macwa, Standing Bears. And if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Have a great day.